Hi there and welcome. My name is MJ and today I am inviting you to another spiritual journey tarot. So meetings where we discuss and explore different aspects of spirituality and spiritual growth. Okay, so meetings where we allow our spirit to speak up and we try to listen and learn from what it has to say. And the lesson that I was thinking about today is the lesson of patience. Look what card popped out. 8 of Coins. Talking about patience, right? The 8 of Coins is a card of very patient and very diligent work. Look at this guy. He's forging his coins in a stone wall, which must be very tiring and it must be very time consuming, right? Requiring him to be patient, to be diligent, to not give up, requiring him to work against his tiredness, against the fact that very often probably he wants to give up. It's very hard to forge our way to the other side, whatever it is that we are trying to get to, right? The 8 of Coins is typically a card of polishing and mastering our skills, trying to get better and better in whatever it is that we do. In this particular case, we discuss spiritual growth, awakening, but it can be anything, right? It can be relationships, our job, just working on ourselves and being the best version of us. But it definitely takes a lot of time to get where we want to, and oftentimes this work is so tiresome that we just want to give up, right? That we may be doubting, is it the right direction that I am taking? Is it worth my effort? Is it worth my energy? Maybe I should pursue something else. But when you look at number 8, it's the infinity symbol, which tells me that, this work of ourselves trying to be the best version of us, whether it's on our spiritual level or whether it's just in our everyday life, it's a never-ending process. And in fact, even if we forge our way to the other side, another part of our journey or our work will open up, and still we will have to put effort to move forward. Okay? So it is definitely always worth the effort, and it's not worth giving up, because whether we want it or not, the process of growth, the process of becoming the best versions of ourselves, the process of discovering the best versions of ourselves, mastering our skills, is a never-ending process. So it lasts through our whole lifetime. In this case, it's our earthly lifetime as human beings here on earth, right? So patience is one of the hardest lessons to go through and one of the hardest virtues to learn, because it makes us face our deepest fears. It makes us face challenges that we need to overcome. It makes us face certain people as well that we are meant to meet on our way that are not always helping us in a sense that they make our way smoother. In fact, sometimes we meet people on our way that seem to make our journey a little harder, but that's only because they are showing up in our life to face us, to help us face those challenges so that we can try and overcome them and become stronger and become even more patient and even more determined to dig through to the other side. Similarly, when we are working on our soul's growth, that patience is even more needed, because things that happen on a soul level cannot be measured in our human sense of timing, right? So they often take much longer than we expect them to. And that is one of the reasons why we often want to give up turn around and just go back, because we think if it's not going as smooth and as quick as I assumed it should, or I just think it should, then probably I am on the wrong path, which is not the case. It's just about us being able to accept that certain things in our life cannot be measured in the human understanding of time. Okay? It often can relate to our love life, whether we are in a relationship but it's not moving as quick as we would want to towards the direction that we want it to, or if we're single and we're looking for, or not even looking, but just dreaming and desiring to have that someone in our life. Especially in those circumstances, it's very hard to accept that the timing is not the one that we decided to, but it's a different timing that is impossible to be measured in our sense and understanding of time, right? Let's look deeper into it. Another aspect of patience is letting go the need to control. Letting go the need to control every outcome. Okay? Our task is to remain diligent. Our task is to keep forging our path. Our task is to keep our dreams alive, keep our desires alive. But how things will unfold is not in our hands. It's in that divine hands, in the universe's hands, in God's hands, however you want to call that force that is supporting and guiding us, right? And our task is to keep moving. And how things will unfold is not for us to decide, okay? Okay, that is a little too much. And as I said, patience is one of the, or maybe even the hardest lesson to go through, and the hardest virtue to learn, because we want things to happen extremely quickly. We are used to living in a very fast-paced environment. Today's world is moving extremely quickly, and we think that our lives should be on that pace as well. And by thinking this way, we are actually taking away the pleasure of the journey from ourselves, because we are given certain time in order to build experiences, to build our character, okay, to build our skills and to master them. If we want to create things that are long-lasting, it's impossible that we will create them overnight, right? The High Priestess. This is the third spiritual journey tarot where the High Priestess is showing up. And I guess none of us is surprised, right? The High Priestess is all about following our inner knowing. We may be trying to force events to happen quicker, but deep inside we know, if we really connect to that inner voice, we know that certain things cannot happen before we achieve certain levels of mastery that I mentioned earlier, right? And our inner voice is continuously guiding us and is giving us advices and hints and tips how to move forward, where to look to for advice, for comfort in times of distress, for example. It's all about listening to our soul and allowing it to grow in its own pace, in its divine timing. It's similarly to raising a kid. We cannot make a little kid become adult overnight or even within 1 year. It takes years for that child to mature, to grow up, to learn, to experience certain things, to gather experiences, and to learn on them, right? And our soul is similarly, it's like our child, our inner child that needs to grow. The moment that we notice it and we understand that this is our child that we are responsible for and that we need to nurture it and allow it enough time to grow, then it becomes a lot easier to understand that this process needs time, and this time will be measured in a different timing than our earthly understanding of time. Okay? Let's see if there's anything else to close out this message. I know that for me, okay, this is definitely too much, but I'm gonna take the first card that is at the top and leave the rest. The Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the whole tarot deck. He's not taking shortcuts. He's not looking to, cheat on his way. He's diligent and he's focused on whatever it is that he's trying to deliver, on whatever it is that he's trying to achieve, on the destination that he is trying to reach. So he will be diligently moving forward, even though he may be losing his patience on the way. He may feel discouraged by not seeing the destination coming as quickly as he would want it to. But he's moving forward, because whatever it is that he's moving towards, be it spiritual growth, he knows that it needs time, and this is his focus, and he knows that this is the most important thing, that it is delivered or it is achieved in the best possible way, not in the quickest way, right? We want to do things right, not want to do them as quickly as possible if we want the result to be long-lasting, okay? We should treat our spiritual growth the same way, as that trip that is really slow, that can be very tiring, but only by moving diligently, we can finally see behind the veil and finally be given access to that secret knowledge that we're looking for, to that secret understanding that our human life here is limited, and the way we measure time is just because people, humans, came up with such measures, but our soul lives on a completely different level, and we cannot try to force it to obey the human timing, right? It's us who are looking to understand that secret timing, that God's timing, divine timing, and only then we can align our human life with our spiritual path. Okay? I hope this makes sense, and I hope that you enjoyed this message and that it resonated with you. As always, please take care of you and your soul, and until we see each other again, bye.